Welcome back to the K Craftsman YouTube channel. Welcome if it's your first time. So glad to have you all here. And this week we have a tips and trick video. 5 tips to help make your cabinet doors easier to make and assemble, and also to bring that final product to that next level. So let's get into it. Now this first tip really could apply to any sort of glue up type scenario where you're going to be staining wood. After sanding a glue up, so this is a panel for a door. We've got this front side sanded, it's going to be stained. Before we go to stain it, instead of just wiping the dust off with just a rag, take a rag and some mineral spirits, paint thinner, and wipe the panel down with that. This will help to work the dust out of the wood, kind of clean the wood a little bit, and it'll also tell you if you missed any sanding spots where some glue might be. This panel looks pretty good. I think we got most of the glue out here, but you'll be able to tell kind of a sharp contrast between the wood and the glue if there are any glue spots in the panel that are missed. And this faint line here is actually just the wood color, but it looks like we got everywhere. And look how much dust. Look how much dust we cleaned out from just wiping this panel down. So that'll all help our stain and tell us if we have any glue spots where the stain won't take. And the mineral spirits will just slowly evaporate off. It takes about 5-10 minutes and then you'll be ready to stain. So there's another tip for you when doing glue ups or any sort of stain grade projects with glue. Another tip when you're gluing up doors here, you don't want to put the glue all the way on the whole piece here. There should be very little to no glue squeeze out there. Third tip I have for you is for stain grade cabinet doors that you have a solid wood panel in it. You're going to want to stain your panels prior to you doing your glue up. And this is because I'm sure as many of you know, and if you don't know, wood will move throughout changes in humidity and temperature throughout the year, even inside of your home. So if that panel shrinks slightly, even a 30-second, if you show now a 30-second of bare wood, that, especially if you're using a darker stain, that's going to be super noticeable and definitely not something you want. So I go ahead and stain my panels first before I glue up the panel in the door frame. Another tip here is when gluing up a large panel or a door like this and you have it set up on one edge, you're trying to put the rails in, put a clamp on the end here, stabilize it, and then it'll be a lot easier to work on that way. You're not fighting against it falling the whole time or anything like that. And you can see with this door, it's so tall that it's going to want to fall over when I'm assembling it. And I like to assemble my doors on their edges like this. That's just how I like to do it. So this clamping method definitely helps out. The next tip is about sanding, and this really applies to anything you're sanding. It helps if you have some lighting going at a very low angle to your piece, if not pretty much like right as it comes over. That lighting is called rake lighting, and rake lighting, what it allows you to do is to see imperfections in the wood. Since the light is at such a low angle, any shadows and any grooves or divots or sanding marks will show up. So for instance, we zoom in here, you can see more clearly here with that lighting, we could see those marks from the hand plane and those little chips out of there. So now we know that we need to take that out. Whereas if we turn this off, it just completely blends in the wood. You can't see where it is. They're right in here. But like I said, we turn that off and then we can't see. So definitely pick yourself up one of these LED work lights. Very bright. Just set on your workbench. Now you have nice rake lighting to use when you are sanding, and finishing also helps with that. Any clear coat you're doing painting, rake lighting helps a ton. So that is our 5 tips. Number 1, clean off your panels before you stain and glue them with mineral spirits. Number 2, hold your glue back from the tenon on your rail pieces enough so that you won't have squeeze out. There's no need to get glue everywhere. You don't need to make a huge mess to have an effective glue joint. Number 3, if you're doing solid wood panels in a door or really any construction that has a solid wood panel in it that's going to be floating within a frame, stain that panel before you go to put it in. Number 4, clamps aren't only for applying pressure, they can help you to stabilize things while you're working on them, and this is just one of many instances that you can use a clamp not to just squeeze things together, but to kind of hold your workpiece upright as you are working. And number 5, use some lighting that is super low angled to your workpiece. Get that light nice and rake across your surface. It'll cast shadows on any defects and you'll be able to see those sanding swirls, see those chips that you may not be able to see with just straight overhead lights. So that's it, 5 tips to improve your cabinet doors and to help the process of making them to be a little bit easier. If you learned something, leave a like and subscribe if you're not already. Your support means the world to us. If you have any other tips, leave them in the comments below. Let's have a conversation. Let's share our knowledge and help each other out. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a great week.